Hello everyone, hope you are good and be happy always. Once again, welcome to the practical classes for Managerial Economics in Shachis Academy. And today we will discuss why does a demand curve slope downwards and what are the exceptions to the law of demand. Why? Because we have been listening from our teachers, we have been reading in our books that demand curve always slopes downwards, okay, and price and demand, quantity demanded has negative relationship. But why is it so? Why does it operate and why is the slope negative? We will get the answers today itself. And for the practical classes, why we have started to get a detailed understanding of the topics which we go through in our books of economics. If you are a manager, if you are doing MBA, you're a student, then you need to have a practical understanding of all the concepts which are given in your books. And these concepts are nothing but day-to-day practices which we come across in our day-to-day life, in our own homes, or in our practical surroundings which we go through, which we come across in our experiences when we go to the market, when we go to our neighborhood. Everywhere you can see the principles of economics are being applied, and you will learn it through this practical class. How does it operate? So first we will discuss the rationale of the law of demand, that means the reason why does it happen, and reasons of demand curve sloping downwards. Why a demand curve has downward slope, that too we will get an understanding today. Okay, number one reason for demand curve being negative slope is law of diminishing marginal utility. You might have read this law, you might have just written this law in your exams and got very good marks, but still you need to understand it once again to have a practical understanding. How does it operate? You might have all read that when we consume more and more of the same commodity at one particular point of time, then our satisfaction from the marginal that commodity or marginal unit of the commodity keeps on declining. So what happens is, if for practical understanding we can see that if, for example, I have this coconut water over here, when we go to a market and we purchase one single coconut water, then we feel it really very good, it's refreshing, it's tasty, and we drink it happily. It's really good to taste even and drink it, and we feel nice. But when we are given the second one, though the experience is really very good second time as well, but it cannot match the first time we had this nariyal pani or coconut water. Then in North India we get it expensive also in South India, because there they grow this coconut, and here we don't grow this coconut, and that is expensive in North India. Then what happens if we have to purchase the fourth one? Then we will not spend the same amount of money, because we don't want to drink fourth nariyal pani, because some of you and many of you will just stop drinking after second coconut water or second nariyal pani. So what happens over here is that when we gain more and more of a commodity, we stop getting the same amount of satisfaction which we got from the first one. Or maybe at our homes when our moms are cooking anything, maybe aloo paratha, maybe dosa, or maybe idli, anything. When we start having our dinner or lunch or breakfast, we are really hungry and we really relish the first bite or scan, the first unit, first chapati, first dosa or first aloo paratha or anything which we relish, which we want to have, then it's really very very tasty. It tastes heavenly when we have it for the first time or in the morning itself when we are hungry. But the second chapati, third chapati, the fourth chapati, what happens? We get full and we don't get the same amount of satisfaction from the third or fourth chapati which we gain from the first. So what is happening over here? As we gain more and more of the same commodity, we lose interest in that, because we get lesser amount of satisfaction from every additional unit. This happens not only at that particular point of consumption, but it happens in our day-to-day life also. What happens? Take for example, this law operates everywhere. I have seen that. See, for the first time, if you purchase any good phone, or you say laptop is quite expensive. So when you purchase your first laptop at your home, only one person is having laptop, then it's really very good. So we will clean it up, we'll keep it nicely at safe places. It should not break, nothing should happen to this laptop. Charger should be kept intact on table and everything is nice. about that laptop, because we are getting maximum satisfaction from that, whatever we have spent. Then again, the second laptop, the third laptop, or if every one of you have laptops, because during pandemic everyone was having laptop, and children too had to get laptops for their online classes. Now if we have 4 laptops at our home, the fourth laptop, when it was purchased, do you remember the feeling? You might not have got the same amount of that satisfaction which you gain from the purchase of first laptop which came at your home. So that is that you start getting bored with things, and you try to purchase additional things at cheaper rates because you already possess that particular thing. So what happens? This law operates everywhere, and the satisfaction you get from the every additional unit keeps on declining in every case. Maybe your cars, maybe your visits to some places, maybe your foreign trips, anything. When you do it for the first time, it's really very exciting, but when you do it continuously at regular intervals, or maybe not at irregular intervals or as well, but you gain interest, you lose interest into that, and you stop getting the same amount of satisfaction and same amount of excitement, and for that you are not ready to spend that amount which you were ready to spend for the first time of that particular trip, maybe particular car, maybe particular nariyal pani, or maybe anything in this world. You lose interest, and this is law of diminishing marginal utility. That means the satisfaction you get from every additional unit keeps on declining. Okay, and that is the reason here that you are not ready to spend the same amount of money which you were ready for the first unit of that commodity. Why? Because normal people behave in this manner only, and super rich people don't give any thought to the price rise and to price decline as well, because they have ample of money to do everything and fulfill every want of them, almost every want. So what I say is, this economics applies, and the principles of economics apply to middle class people, or maybe the people lower middle class, or people who do not have enough money to fulfill every want or spend on certain items. There at least some wants of these people remain unfulfilled, and that is the reason they give real consideration and a great thought to expenditure of their amount which they get through salaries, through their pocket monies. And if you are a student, you have to look after every single penny when you spend it. So that law applies there for people who normally behave and who value money. Okay, then comes your income effect. Here income effect is not the same which we witness, that when our income increases we start purchasing more. This is not the same thing over here. In this answer, it is something else. See, when price of something declines, right? When price of something declines, you get additional money. How? Your real income increases. How? I'll tell. And one thing I forgot to tell over here, that when you want to purchase additional unit of the same commodity, you will be ready to give less amount of money for that. You will not pay the same amount of money. Take for example over here, this nariyal pani, this coconut water. If this cost, the first nariyal pani cost me 100 rupees, then for the second one I may pay only 80 rupees. For third one 50 rupees, and for fourth one I'll say I don't want to purchase. And nariyal pani wala will say, coconut water wala say that ma'am please have it. It is only 20 rupees per piece. So that I can purchase. That means when price fall, I can purchase additional unit only when price falls and not at that highest rate only. Okay, then income effect, we were discussing income effect over here. So what is the thing over here, that when, same example I will take again, this coconut water, you will say that whole lecture will be completed with the help of coconut water only. Okay, so here this is coconut water. If I think that this coconut water will cost me 500 rupees in the market, maybe I'm ignorant about market, or maybe I don't know that in North India what is the cost of coconut water. So I went to the market. In my thought process, something was going that this coconut water will cost me 500 rupees because this is North India and coconuts are not grown here. Anything, my ignorance or anything like that, my experience, anything. So I may think that this is 500 rupees. Okay, then I went to the shop. At that shop, coconut water cost me, or the vendor told me that it's, ma'am, it is only of 50 rupees. So what happened? That means I saved 450 rupees on this coconut water. It happens for reality. Believe me, it happens. When you go to the market, you might have thought that this thing will cost me 5,000 rupees and something cost you only 1,000 and 4,000 of your amount was saved. So this is the case over here, that when price falls, your real income increases. Although the amount which you were having was yours, okay, but it has been saved. How? And your real income increases. What is real income anyway? I have explained in first part of this video also, but again I'll tell you. Real income is measured in terms of goods and services which we get after spending money. Take for example, if this nariyal pani cost me 500 rupees, okay, that means what is the real income over here of 500 rupees? 500 rupees the money income, money amount, and what is the real thing which I am getting? That is real is one nariyal pani. But if this nariyal pani costs me, coconut water costs me only 50 rupees, that means I am getting 10 coconut waters with by spending 500 rupees. Okay, that means what is the real income over here? Real income is 10 units or 10 nariyal pani, right? So real income is always measured in terms of goods and services which we get, maybe in form of computers, board, marker, lights, table, food, anything in this world which we can purchase with the help of money. So if anything is in the form of money, maybe paper currency or in credit cards, that is your money income. But if you consider it in form of what you can purchase with the help of that money, that is your real money or real income. Okay, then when things become cheaper, your real income increases and you tend to get more amount of commodities. So here what is happening? When price is falling, your real income is increasing and you are purchasing more. I'll tell you this example with the help of diagram over here. So draw a diagram. How do you do it? Vertical axis, horizontal axis, this is x-axis, this is y-axis. Okay, so here nariyal pani, I thought the nariyal pani is rupees 500 per unit. Okay, so I was planning to purchase only one nariyal pani. Okay, one nariyal pani. Okay, so this was my condition. Okay, but what happened? This nariyal pani cost me only 50 rupees. At that point, I will think that okay, I am having 500 rupees. So what's wrong if I purchase 4 to 5 nariyal pani in 50 rupees? So what will happen? I will instantly take a decision in my mind that I will purchase more nariyal pani. So what is happening over here? I was supposed to purchase only one nariyal pani and maybe I may purchase 5 nariyal pani now, or you can say 6 nariyal pani. Okay, so what is happening? I am purchasing 6 coconut waters. This is point A, what I was thinking with my money income. And now what has happened? I have purchased more of the amount if price has fallen, price has decreased or not. This is price in rupees, okay, rupees. This is India and so this is rupees, and quantity is over here in per unit, units, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what is happening? Join these 2 points, A and B. What has happened? Your demand curve is sloping downwards. This is how you can make diagrams with the help of these headings. Okay, so it has happened. Now, the third point, substitution effect. What happens when anything which can be used for some other use or which has substitutes, the price of that declines? Take for example, toothpaste. If toothpaste price or toothpaste are normally similar, but if any of the toothpaste, take for example in India we have Pepsodent and we have your Colgate. These are competitive toothpaste in India, and so if the price of Colgate brand of toothpaste declines, take for example, previously one pack of Colgate was costing 100 rupees and same was the rate of, this is Colgate C and this is Pepsodent for P. Okay, so both of them cost nearly 100 rupees or say 100 rupees approx, both of them. The price was 100 for both of them. Rupee 100. This is Indian symbol for rupee and this is English symbol RS. Okay. So here what is happening? If price of Colgate declines and it becomes say 70 rupees per unit of your tube or pack. So what is happening? Pepsodent has been sold at the same price. Now it is being sold at the same price, but the price of Colgate has declined. What is happening over here? This has become cheaper in comparison to Pepsodent, although price of Pepsodent is same. Why? Because it has become cheaper because its price has declined. So what is happening? Many consumers who were using Pepsodent will now shift towards your Colgate. They will start consuming Colgate. So Colgate brand of toothpaste will get more consumers. What is happening? When its price declined, its demand increased. So here we can just change their price. Its price declined from 100 rupees. I will make another diagram. Okay, 100 rupees. So this was 100. It declined to 70. Previously, only 50 people were consuming, say for example, in one colony. And now, when its price is 70 rupees, now more people, maybe 80 rupees, 80 people are consuming it now. So there is addition of 30 people, 30 consumers in purchase of your Colgate brand of toothpaste. And again, join these 2 points again. This is declining. So it is happening again, it is declining. Then come to income plus substitution effect. Now we have studied income effect and we have discussed substitution effect as well. And so what is happening? Income plus substitution effect is your price effect. That means price effect happens or takes place because of operation of your income and substitution effect, both of them. Next is additional consumers. Additional consumers, when does it happen? When your price falls, additional consumers come to consume that commodity. Why? Because it has become cheaper. Always think in mind, when things become cheaper, normal people will start consuming them more. This is a simple thing and this is happening over here as well. When, take for example, when anything becomes cheaper, take for example your tea and coffee, okay, and your tea and coffee, when tea becomes cheaper, previously both of them cost 100 rupees one pack. Again I am taking 100 rupees only. This is coffee and this is tea, okay. Now one pack of tea has started being sold at rupees 80. So there is decline of rupees 20 or not? Now it is cheaper or not? This has become rupees 80 and this previously it was rupees 100, and now coffee has remained at same price. This is the same price for coffee. Now it has become cheaper in comparison to coffee. So what will happen? Many consumers of coffee will shift towards it. This is happening over here also, additional consumers. Now additional consumers happens in the form of new and old consumers, okay. Now many people who were already consuming tea, they will start giving to their maids because it has become cheaper, or maybe they can make iced tea as well, and they can use tea for washing their hair also, because tea has good properties for hair also, so they can use in different uses also, okay, because it has become cheaper. And now some of the people who were not previously consuming tea, they may also shift towards tea, and this is the effect which is happening due to substitution effect as well, because they can be used as substitutes, okay. Now we can take another example also. If something is very expensive, take for example this nariyal pani. Again I have taken nariyal pani. So previously it was expensive and many people could not consume. So when it becomes cheaper, its price falls, and many people will start consuming nariyal pani. So I am not the brand ambassador of nariyal pani anyway, but I love nariyal pani. So what is happening over here? Many new consumers will start consuming nariyal pani, and the old ones previously who were consuming, there are two types of consumers: those who were already consuming nariyal pani, and the second one are those who were not consuming because it was expensive. So now when its price has fallen, what will happen? New consumers will start consuming it, and the old consumers will start using it in more units or more amount, okay. They will drink 2-3 nariyal pani per day, or maybe whatever their taste may be, so they can purchase more. So old and new both will come to purchase it in more quantities. Then comes to different uses of commodity. Take for example milk, sugar, etc. What happens? Milk has a plethora of uses, many uses in North India especially. We make sweets with this milk, we make curd, we make paneer, we make cottage cheese, mozzarella cheese, many types of cheese are made with the help of milk. We drink it in tea and coffees, we drink it putting ghee in that, and there are different kinds of uses which we put our milk to. So what happens when milk becomes cheaper? It is put to some different uses and maybe some unimportant uses also. In the same manner, in North India we have potatoes. In summer season, potatoes are really very cheap over here. Mango is very cheap, and then we pickle make pickle of mangoes when they become cheaper. We make chutneys of different type. We make many delicacies, aam papad and all with the help of mango because it has become cheaper in comparison to other fruits, and it can be put to different uses. We can pickle it and keep it for a whole year or maybe 2-3 years as well. We can make aam papad and relish it during winter. So what is happening when things become cheaper? They are put to different uses and maybe some unimportant uses as well. Same happens with potato also. It is used for making chips during summers. We make papads, chips, and many types of delicacies are prepared with the help of potato because it has become cheaper. So when things become cheaper and if they have different uses, then they can be put to less important uses as well. Because what is the most important use of milk? Take for example, it is for drinking. Maybe infants are given that, old people are given that, and maybe as a diet supplement we too also take milk, a glass of milk, because if it is very expensive, when it becomes cheaper, we take more of milk and make sweets, make kheer, make curd, make paneer and everything like that. So that is there. Okay, so this is our practical life, you can understand. So what has happened here? Every day we are using the concepts of economics, but we are not getting that we are using them. So in this manner, I hope you might have understood that it is happening everywhere around ourselves, in our neighborhood, in our own homes, with ourselves also. We are using economics in the same manner what our laws says, but we are not getting them. So I hope you might have understood today. Now, exceptions to the law of demand. What are the cases when law of demand is not operative? Okay, number one is conspicuous necessities. Conspicuous means which do not help in any manner with our lives, living lives. These are not the basic necessities. Take for example, new brands of cars. Super rich people, they change their cars maybe every 2 months or after 2 or 3 months, or biannually they may change their cars because that has come into new into the market. Take for example iPhones. That does have utility because professionals need to have it and people with high profile jobs need to have it, but people that just like students, they don't need to have iPhones because their work does not require iPhones. So in that case what happens, that is only the brand name which they flaunt in front of their friends. They show off that I'm having this iPhone, a newer version of iPhone, like that. So conspicuous necessities does not follow law of demand. If their price, even if their price increases, they are purchased in larger amounts, and higher the price, more will be the purchase, because people will flaunt, they will show off their money with the help of those commodities. Then inferior or giffen goods. Then comes inferior giffen goods. Take for example, suppose I am using inferior brand of this marker. So what will happen when its price falls? My real income will be increasing. As we explained in the case of Naryal Pani, when your giffen goods prices fall, what happens? Our real income increases and we shift our consumption from those inferior goods to superior goods. It happens everywhere in terms of your commodities, which we see in the markets where second-hand commodities are sold, where cheap commodities are sold, and when they become cheaper and cheaper, we stop their consumption because we may purchase them for only 10 to 20 rupees, and that amount which was spent on them will be saved, and we can use that amount as increase in real income in purchase of some other commodities. Okay, then comes your future expectations. If future is uncertain, take for example what happened during pandemic, people really were panic stricken, and when they thought that prices will further increase and people may not get supply of essential items, and they purchase essential items in terms of, you can say, people purchase even 100 kgs of aloo, potato, sugar. They hoarded many types of medicines as well, because even paracetamol and other medicines were not available, antibiotics were not available, and people were literally hoarding many medicines. Even if their prices increased, the simple masks were sold for 1,000 each. In many cases, N95 masks were sold in North India for as high as 5,000 rupees. So many types of things happened, and even if their price was high, people purchased them in larger quantities because they were having a thought that these things will not be available in future and anything can happen. Future was really uncertain. So future expectations may also force you to purchase quantities at higher price. In that case, your demand curve does not operate. It is not negatively sloped, because at higher price you purchase higher quantities, and that is your positively sloped operates over there. Then Comes your change in fashion and taste. If your fashion and taste changes, take for example, if some new car has arrived in market, it is unveiled in market, or some new iPhone has arrived, latest version of something has arrived and it's expensive. Though it's expensive, people will purchase them. Okay. Then we have status symbol. People normally purchase very expensive things to show off their money, and it's their status symbol. It's not just show off. See, when people work in certain environment, they have certain amount of money. They need to purchase some things to keep their status intact, and in that sense, price does not matter, and they may purchase higher quantities or more quantities of commodity when prices increase, because they don't want to consume cheaper commodities, and for them higher price means higher status, and for that they consume them. During the times of bidding, you might have seen in movies that what happens in bidding. People who quote higher price, who bid higher, who put higher bidding, win the bidding, and a commodity which is not more than 1 lakh rupees or 100,000 rupees may be sold at 200 or 500,000 rupees. So maybe double or triple the amount of that can be sold, can be put to that. Then status symbol happen, lack of information. In certain cases, consumers do not have the information, latest information about the prices of commodities which are prevalent in the market, and they may purchase commodities which are higher at price. Higher price can be given to sellers because consumer is ignorant. If consumer is ignorant of the market trends or the prices which are prevailing in the market of certain commodities, say for example, if this marker in my neighborhood shop cost me 50 rupees, and if the same marker is available in some other shop at 20 rupees, but I do not know, I am not aware that this marker is available at rupees 20 elsewhere, so I may purchase this marker for 50 rupees as well and pay 30 rupees more than what is available in the market. So what is happening? I am ignorant about the market trends, I am ignorant about the prices which are prevailing in another shop, and I am paying higher amount for the same quality of the commodity, and although that is available in some other shop at cheaper rates. Then emergent situation. Many times, like pandemic, floods may happen. Few years back there was flood in Kashmir, and then at that time blankets were really sold at exorbitant prices. They were very expensive, and boats were sold, and food items were really expensive over there. In Odisha, flood happens normally every year. In Bihar also flood happens. In Kerala, it took a toll on the whole life of people, and it devastated their economy. In that case, what happens during floods, wars, or any type of pandemics and riots? What happens? Things become scarce, or they are really sold at very high prices. They are quoted at very high prices, and people purchase them in larger quantities, even if their price is really very high, because they think that this will not be available the next day. They come to the market, and that panic forces them to purchase higher quantities of commodities, and they purchase more quantities at higher price. And that time also your law of demand does not operate, and your demand curve is not negatively sloping. So these are the exceptions in which these things do not operate. And you might have seen during pandemic this happened for real, and people were really purchasing. They were panic stricken and really purchasing. They were buying impulsively all the different kinds of commodities, maybe medicines, maybe essentials, maybe clothes, everything they were buying in very large amounts, even if the prices were really very high. So here the demand curve did not operate, and you might have experienced everyday life also. So these are the reasons why demand curve operates, why it is negatively sloped, and for that I have framed this code for you people. This is Lizzie-Add. Lizzie-Add means L. See, I normally frame code, this is not a rocket science, I normally frame codes with the help of first alphabet of these headings. So, it is as per your convenience you can frame these codes. Is L for law of diminishing marginality, I for income effect, S for substitution effect, I again for income plus substitution effect. You just have to memorize and keep that in mind. What was the relationship of code, this first alphabet with the heading. Then AD, additional consumers, and D is your different uses. Finished. Then comes exceptions. This is C, I, FC, and slave. CIFC SLAY. SL. You must be feeling that all things we have come across in our day-to-day life. So economics is nothing but your day-to-day experience. How do you spend your money? How to conduct your business? How consumers behave? How people behave? How you and I behave in the market? That is all economics about. And for all these type of practical things, you can come to our channel. You can always watch the videos, and thanks for liking, subscribing and sharing my videos. You have been literally supportive for my channel. You have been sending really good comments, and you have been really supportive and encouraging to me. Thank you so much. Take care. God bless you.